Hi there and welcome to this bonus episode of the Gazette's Hockey Inside Out Show. I'm Stu Cowan of the Gazette and I'm joined by former Canadiens defenseman, assistant coach and 1986 Stanley Cup champion Rick Green, and my longtime Gazette colleague and friend Jack Todd, who's sitting in for Chris Nyland this week. Rick, as a former defenseman and an assistant coach with the Canadiens, are you surprised to see Mike Matheson leading the team in ice time again this season after they acquired Noah Dobson during the summer?
I'm not. I mean, what I like about his game, unlike what I saw on occasion last year, he seems to be much more committed to picking his spots on the offensive side. He's smart enough to realize that he doesn't want to force situations that aren't there, resulting in odd man rushes. And he's averaging 24 minutes a game. He's the go-to guy, playing really, really well, complimenting Dobson in the way that both those guys seem to be connected. And, he's a guy that's deserving of a new contract. Now, whether or not he gets it, it's term and cost. At 4.8, what he's making, what will it take to get him signed to an extension? I'm not sure, but he's definitely deserving of a new contract. He's playing very, very well and taking care of both ends of the rink and doing a hell of a job. And a good quality person that is really excited to be part of the Montreal Canadiens. And it'll be interesting to see where this goes for the future for him.
For some reason, Jack, it seems like a lot of Canadiens fans on social media at least don't like Mike Matheson, which I keep trying to figure out. But, him and Dobson, as you mentioned, I think have been a really great pairing, especially with the way Marty wants to play, being aggressive in the neutral zone and moving forward. And, Matheson went from being number one power play guy last season to now a number one penalty killing guy. Jack, just what do you like most about his game?
Well, the fans, they see a dozen good plays and forget them. They see one bad play and they remember it for 35 years, and bring it up on social media every time they mention the guy. I think it's so obvious. The pairing with Dobson is just brilliant. It's almost, in a way, it justifies the deal for Dobson because, I think it makes Dobson better as well as Dobson makes Matheson better. Mm-hmm. And they mesh so well. Since you've got Dobson signed long-term, and since Matheson is such a quality guy that fits with everything else you're doing here, and one of the few veterans who carries the rest of the brand, so to speak, but also has some experience, I don't see any way they wouldn't sign him. I heard some guy that works for the Canadiens used to be his agent, so that might factor in somewhere down the line. Although, I'll tell you, Hughes is really good at not sort of playing favorites with his guys, but at the same time, he obviously knows them really well. So he knows with Matheson, when he signs him to a 3 or 4 year extension, he knows exactly what he's getting.
Yeah, and he was Matheson's agent from a young age, and the master was telling me recently, he really helped Mike and his family when they were deciding whether to go the U.S. college route, whether to go to play junior, and he said he's just such a smart guy and good advice. And now Phil LeCavalier, Vinny's brother, is the agent, and Pierre LeBrun reported that they want to have talks, but that Matheson's looking for a 4 to 5 year deal. He's 31, Rick, but I mean, he might be the most physically fit guy on the team. I wouldn't be hesitant to give him 4 or 5 years.
No, I like I said, I like his overall game. He skates so well. He does a lot of things well. He's a big plus as a veteran player back there, and again, does he fit into the structure of how much it's going to cost to sign him? It's all business, and whether or not he wants to stay with the Montreal Canadiens, it's entirely up to him when it comes down to it. But he's still young at 31. He'll be 32 next year, and he's got a tremendous amount of upside to play the game for quite a few more years.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to give a hometown discount or how much of one, Jack, but I mean, talking to him recently, and after the games, you always see his parents are there, his wife's there with the kids, his parents still live on the West Island in the house he grew up in. I think that's part of the thing. You can't really put a price tag on that. But the thing with Kent Hughes, Jack, I mean, negotiating, he seems to be fair. I mean, we saw that with Lane Hudson, right? It's he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna give him the world, but he's gonna. I have confidence that they're gonna get something done with him in the not too distant future.
Eric Engels, who ought to know better, described the negotiations, saying at one point with Hudson they were at nuclear negotiations. Mm-hmm. I find this just incomprehensible with Kent Hughes. I am pretty sure I know how he works, which is that he's done this a million times on the other side of the table. He's laying things out, saying, does this work for you? Because we need this, and this, so we can adjust it here. And it's all very calm and very behind the scenes. And when you're ready to announce it, you announce it. There's no nuclear about it. It's not, you're not going to end up saying, if you want loyalty, buy a dog. This is never going to happen with Kent Hughes.
Or first come, first serve, as Marc Bergevin did with Radulov and Markov, and then he lost both of them, right?
Beautiful job.
And Kent Hughes kind of reminds you of a Serge Savard type of style, where he goes, you know what? This is where you fit in the league. This is the salary that you're deserving of, and that's it. That's all. And in all fairness to both parties, they just get it resolved, and everybody leaves the table happy and well taken care of.
Yeah, and the fact, when the contract talks with Hudson didn't know what was going to happen, it was Hughes sitting down one-on-one and talking with him. And it's interesting, Rick, you bring up Serge Savard. Knuckles always talks about how much he loves Serge. And it was Serge who traded Knuckles away, right, at the point. But it just shows when you treat people well, that's what happens, right? They still have a respect for you, and I don't think that was there with Marc Bergevin with a lot of players, Jack. And I think that's a big reason. People talk about taxes and weather and language and whatever else, but I think that toxic environment that was created here was a bigger reason why guys didn't want to come play Montreal.
And that really went back a ways. Réjean Houle, I think, and André Savard both got pushed around a bit in negotiations. And then Gainey came in, and he was determined to be tough. And then Pierre Gauthier took it to some level of paranoia and hostility like nothing I've ever seen.
Trading guys during a game.
And Bergevin came in. At first, he was known as kind of a jokester and stuff himself. But the paranoia locked in very quickly with him. And the last years of his tenure he was at war with everyone, including the media. And it's just a bad environment. And what amazes me a bit here, we're coming up on 4 years already for Gorton, I believe, and it'll be 4 years in January for Hughes. And they are in a stronger position now and better liked than they were at day one. It's been a pretty steady build. Like in the beginning, you're getting the bitch about, there being two blokes in charge. One of them doesn't speak it. You had people saying that Hughes was just a puppet who was going to do whatever Gorton wanted. He was just a tool that was there because he spoke French. Well, it took within a month we knew better than that. But this is the only time I can remember ever, except maybe Serge when he had just won the Stanley Cup, where the guy's stock went up instead of steadily down after they took over.
Yeah, and with Hughes, I think one of the advantages he has is that he doesn't really need this job. Yeah, he didn't even want it when Jeff Gorton first called him. He wasn't interested, and then it was his wife who sort of talked him into maybe go back home and do this. So they have their plan. They're going to stick with it, and if it works and they win a Stanley Cup, he'll be a god in this city. And if it doesn't work, he'll go back to his nice home and play golf and have lots of money and live the rest of his life.
Helps you stay calm when you've got a couple bucks in the bank.
Exactly. Anyway, I think we'll see what happens with Mike Matheson, but I'd be surprised if Kent Hughes isn't able to re-sign him, and I think we all agree that he should. Anyway, that's it for this bonus episode. Look for our regular Hockey Inside Out show next week also, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you like the show.